Hello. Let's see if anyone joins. Hello, thank you for joining. So it's Labor Day weekend. We're just hanging out. I decided to come on and say hello, and I hope everyone's doing well. It has been a crazy week, a really, really crazy week. So here's the lowdown. It started with, oh, hi, Dennis. How are you? Hello, Zizi. Thank you for joining. Hi from Saudi. Oh, hi. Thank you for joining. You're very far away. All right, so here in the US at least, it started with oh, hello again, Mark. It started with there's some weird things been happening with Obama. So it started with Obama. Hi. It started with Obama. So we had the death of Obama's chef on his property. So that happened. There was an investigation. The death was ruled as an accident. So that happened. We don't have access to the 911 call, but we do know that it was made by a Secret Service agent. We do know that, or this is what we're being told, that he was on a paddleboard and he was with another female staffer who was 26 years old. Okay, so we know all these things happen. And the death has officially been ruled. Did you already talk about your thoughts on the Maui fires? Cece, I'll talk about that in a second. I'll do Maui fires in a Maui fires in a second. We're just doing Obama right now. Yeah, we're doing Obama right now. I'll do it in 5 minutes. We got you in 5 minutes because I have a lot of thoughts on that. I have been looking into that a lot. Okay, so Obama. Yeah, so the chef, he was on a paddleboard in the middle of the night, 8 feet of water, apparently fell off the paddleboard and drowned. So there's that. And what we're being told is the 911 call was being made by Secret Service, okay? So there's that. And we also have been told that the person that was on the other paddleboard with him, we know there was 2 people, was a 26-year-old staff member. Okay, and here's what we know about the 911 call from, I'm putting this in air quotations, Secret Service. They're not releasing the 911 call. So we have no idea actually what was said on the 911 call and who made it because they're not releasing that. There have been at least 2 publications that I know about that has reached out to get the 911 call and it's not being released. So we don't officially know who made the 911 call or what was actually said on the 911 call. That hasn't been released. So there's that. And then what else we know is this man who clearly knew how to swim drowned in 8 feet of water, which again, it could have been an accident, but this is the point that I'm making. No one's being transparent. They're not releasing the 911 call. They're not answering questions. So all of this lack of transparency, this is what puts people in conspiracy theory mode. So this is why you have conspiracy theorists, because we don't have answers. Anyway, there's that. We'll go back to that. We will definitely circle back because there's a lot of unanswered questions. Actually, you know what? Another unanswered question is Barack Obama's half older brother tweeted August 30th that he wanted to reach out and talk to Tucker Carlson. I can't even make this up. I can't even make it up if I wanted to. Okay, so Malik Obama on August 30th of 2023, this year, tweeted out that he wanted to talk to Tucker Carlson and expose Barack Obama. So there's also that. Yeah, there's a lot going on. So that happened. Okay, someone asked about Maui. Here's what's happening with Maui. Obviously, there's a lot of updates that are happening every single day, and I'm not there. So clearly, someone that lives there would probably be a better source of information. But here's something that has been absolutely perplexing me the past 2 days. Here it is. So there's a few things we know about the Maui fire. We know that a lot of people are upset. They feel like it's a huge government failure because the alarm system wasn't alarmed. So that never happened. The kids were sent home from school because of the wind and stuff like that, which makes sense. So the kids were home alone, which a lot of people believe that a lot of kids make up a lot of the death toll numbers. Okay, so we know that. We know that the water was cut off or limited. So that hindered people's ability to cut off the fire. We also know that there were a lot of complaints about Maui Electric and how their electric lines were. We also know that the cops were blockading people, so they weren't even able to leave Lahaina. There were a lot of families that perished in their cars because the police were blocking roads. They were not letting people leave. And the reason for this, as what we're told now by Maui officials, is the reason they were blockading people is because power lines. Like they had power lines down, and it's obviously very dangerous. Why is no one talking about the bodies washed up on Lahaina? We'll get to that in a second. It's obviously very dangerous to drive over an energized down power line. But here's the thing. So they're saying that the county of Lahaina, or the county of Maui, I'm sorry, is saying that the reason that police were blockading the road is because of down power lines. And obviously a criticism is, would it be better to attempt to drive over a down power line than to just be incinerated? But that's a thing for another day. But here's my question. So Hawaii Electric is being sued for negligence because a lot of people think that it's down power lines that caused the wildfires. And there's actually video footage where it looks like down power lines caused the fires. There's also like evidence of 4 years of complaints about how Hawaii Electric, their lines are going through trees and overgrown brush and stuff like that. And residents have been complaining for a long time to get this stuff cleaned up because it is a fire hazard. So you can imagine when it's suspected that they had a downed power line that started the fires, that, people would be upset and they would be pretty defensive. Okay, but here's my question. This is where it gets a little bit weird. I'm used to people pointing fingers to defend themselves. It's the Democratic Party that runs Hawaii. And it's probably one of the most tyrannical, local governments that I've ever seen. It's absolutely wild. So Maui is essentially suing Hawaii Electric because they're saying that Hawaii Electric is the one that let their power lines down. Okay? Hawaii Electric is saying that's not true. Actually, we cut off our power. Our power had been cut off for 6 hours before we even could have started the fire. So that's sort of the back and forth that's happening right now. And here's my question. If the power lines, okay, so let's just backtrack for a second. So they're suing Hawaii Electric because they're saying you didn't cut off the power and your downed power lines caused the fire, okay? So, or they are coming back at Maui and they're saying, wait, no, actually, yes, we might have started the very first fire, but the firefighters put it out. They deemed it totally safe and then they left. We cut off our power after that. So there was no saying they cut off their power. So their power lines were not energized for about 6 hours. So here's my question. Why were police blockading the streets? If the power lines were down, but they were not energized, how would it be a hazard if people drive over the power lines? And then what would your justification for blocking people in be? I'm not talking about the cops on the ground. I'm talking about the people in charge that are making these decisions. So if your power lines were not energized, then what would be your justification for blockading people in where they perish? That's my question. And maybe I don't know the answer. I don't know power lines. I don't know anything like that. But that just doesn't, on my little surface common sense level, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Like, why would you do that? Why would you block cars from leaving if the power lines are not energized? Yeah, I think it was probably, yeah, I don't necessarily think it was nefarious, but I think it was a lot of miscommunication between a lot of people. Did the police know they were dead? I don't know. But again, that's a question, right? Like, these are questions that people deserve to have answers. How did the police know or not know that they were dead? Did the police know that they were dead? Dude in charge of water is sus. Yeah, that's another thing. The water was turned off, or it wasn't turned off, but it wasn't released as it should have been. This is where bureaucracy, no fire, no rain, no storm in Saudi. This is where bureaucracy kills you because there's so many hoops to go through. There's so many regulations. There's this and that. And you get so caught up in this stuff that when disasters happen, this is how they unfold. And this is such a great example of that. And the warning sirens weren't put off. The warning sirens were not alerted, essentially. And that's the guy that resigned. The guy that was in charge of that eventually resigned. But his excuse was the alarms weren't sounded because it's typically used for a tsunami. So if I would have sounded the alarms, then people would have run into the flames, assuming that people don't understand what fire is. Assuming that people don't understand what... Hi, Danielle. How are you? Oh, that's my little cousin-in-law, Danielle. And she's here. Hi, Danielle. I'm happy you're here. Yay. People... to me, that's like... It's like the bigotry of low expectations, that people just assume you're not going to know what that means, that you're just going to, and this is what he said, the guy that did not ring the, or did not release the water, or no, I'm sorry, excuse me. This is what the guy said that did not ring the alarm, essentially, that did not sound the alarm to tell people that something bad was going on. What he said in public was, Well, I didn't want people to run in the opposite direction, is essentially what he said. And he also said this is typically done with people that are in fear of tsunamis. What that's telling me, that's the the soft bigotry of low expectations. That's telling me you don't think your people are smart enough. You don't think they would go outside and say, "Hey, there's a fire right there. I probably shouldn't run that way. I probably." Clearly, he realized how silly that was because he did, in fact, resign. So that guy no longer works for Hawaii. But that's just one of many things that were handled poorly and that put people in so much danger and that probably cost a lot of people their lives. I mean, it's just horrible. The police blockading people in because of down power lines. And that's why I want to know about the lawsuit with Hawaii Electric. Like, I want to know, when those power lines were down, were they energized? Were they not energized? When did you cut off power? Because if they cut off power early, then the argument of they didn't cut off power wouldn't hold water. And also, the defense of the person I'm referring to wouldn't hold water. So I would like to really know the truth. Oprah wanted some beach property. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it seems like there's a lot of people in Lahaina that are not very trusting of the government or anyone for that nature, and I don't blame them. Look at Oprah Winfrey. Someone just brought this up. She owns over 800 acres of land, and a lot of it she just bought up within the past few months. Who needs that much land? What are you doing on that land? Like, at what point is it just pure greed? That much land on an island that has a lot of locals that have been fighting for their land. It makes zero sense. And it's so funny. I used to be a fan of hers, but I look at her now and I don't trust anything that she says. I don't believe anything that she says. I don't trust anything that she says. Yeah, I looked at her. Yeah, I saw Oprah and do not. And I don't think it's even so much The Rock. I know that he's cringy a lot and I know that his politics are bullshit. But to be honest, I kind of like him. Like, I just think he's a good guy. I just think he has bullshit politics and I think he's a bit cringy. But I don't think he's necessarily a bad guy. Oprah, I can't say the same for. I don't trust her as far as I can throw her. Everything about her to me is icky now. And I used to be a huge fan of hers. I used to watch Super Soul Sunday. Every Sunday, I had a book that she wrote of like a lot of her quotes. I used to follow all the people that she would have on her show. But now, I don't trust her at all. I don't trust her at all. So anything that she's attached to, I automatically don't trust. Oh, and they started, okay, so Oprah and The Rock, Oprah has tons of property in Maui. That's what we're talking about. So they started a charity where they both donated $1 million. But I think it was $1 million combined. So that's $5 million per person. Which Oprah is worth over $3 billion. And The Rock is worth so that much money is an absolute drop in the bucket to them, and they're also required to donate money to charity. And it's going to be a tax write-off for them. So I'm not donating to people, and I'll donate to them. Although Oprah said in her little charity video that if you donate to their Maui People's Fund, You will, which, hey, if you help people, that is amazing. That is great. I'm just personally not going to be donating to your fund. There's other funds that I heard of that are taking care of people on Maui. I just personally will be donating to those places, not her. The fire, yeah. We don't know how it started yet, but what's been really disturbing is they're going to send donations to Ukraine. More water would have helped. Yeah, more water would have helped. A lot of things would have helped. You guys are funny. It's scary though. It's scary because you learn in times like this how powerful we have allowed our government to become. I really do think so. Like you kind of realize that in times like this. I will donate to this stay put fund. Someone said DEWs. Oh, you guys. Okay, you want to know something about my dad? So my dad passed away about 10 years ago. He had cancer. And this is way before I knew anything about like conspiracy theories or politics or anything like that. But when he passed away, I found a book that he was reading. My dad was reading an entire book on chemtrails. I still have it. I don't have it with me, but I had no idea. And at the time, this was a long time ago that I found the book. So I was like, oh, this is so dumb. My dad's a conspiracy theorist. But now it's really funny to me. But yeah, he was reading a book on chemtrails. The Proud Boy guy got 17 years. That's tyranny. Yeah, I saw that. I really hope that's appealed. I really hope something happens with that. That is horrible. I also saw that he had a 6-year-old daughter and a parent that had cancer. Just so you guys know, like just so you guys know, hold on, I don't want my mom to hear, but I've been in Virginia taking care of my mom. So, or helping with my mom. I don't have to be here, but I choose to be here. And I heard that not only does he have a 6-year-old girl, but he also has a parent with cancer. That absolutely breaks my heart. So I hope they appeal it. I hope he gets out. Like, that's just absolutely not okay. It's not okay. And he was there for sure. And what I saw, he shook a fence. He was only there for 20 minutes. And after watching all of 2020, and then people get in trouble for that. Yeah, it's disturbing. It's very disturbing. It's very disturbing. Sorry for your father. Oh, it's okay. No, don't be sorry. I hope he gets conviction overturned. I hope so too. I hope they appeal it and I hope they get conviction overturned. I don't know how anyone in their right mind could do that. That's just how brainwashed a lot of people have become in this country. It's really, really sad. Your mom is so lucky to have you there. Oh, thank you so much. We have fun together. We were together today. We have fun together. She's right out there. Maybe I'll introduce you to her one day, but she's right out there. But that's why if you're ever curious about my lifestyle, that's why I'm back and forth here in California sometimes. It's because of my mama. Do you like Robert Kennedy? I really like Robert Kennedy. Do I necessarily want him as a president? Maybe not. I don't know. There's probably a few things that maybe I don't totally trust about him, but I'll tell you what. Robert Kennedy Jr., Vivek Ramaswamy, you guys might not know who he is yet, and a few others. I might not want them to be president. I might not trust their every move, but I'll tell you what. I love the fact that they are in the national conversation. I love the fact that they are bringing up topics that I feel like should be talked about. I love the fact that they're going against the status quo, and they're really bringing attention to a lot of things that we should be paying attention to, and they're giving a new perspective. And I'll tell you, all of those guys, Vivek, RFK, Colonel, like everyone who is willing to talk about things that go against the grain, I'm really appreciative that they are in the national conversation. Robert Kennedy for Secretary of State, like RFK. Yeah, I mean, I'm just glad. Like, I mean, and I was looking at it today. It's so funny because a lot of people, they think Vivek is some kind of like plant. Maybe he is. I don't know. I don't care. But he is on every single show. He's doing it all. He's talking. He's smart. He's pushing back. He was on Vivek was on TMZ. It was either today or yesterday. I was listening to this kid on TMZ pushing back about the climate change agenda. And no matter who he is or what he is, I'm so appreciative that he was on TMZ, of all places, pushing back on this narrative. Nobody else does that. I love that. I think it's awesome. And he's on all these podcasts, like pop culture, all this stuff, and just pushing back on these narratives that have been shoved down our throats, that have been 99.9% of media. So I appreciate that about him, and I also appreciate that about RFK Jr. Larry Elder, I didn't see the rest of that comment, but I'm going to assume that it had something to do with the fact that Larry Elder wasn't able to debate. Yeah, I wasn't happy about that at all. I would have loved to see Larry Elder in there, but you know what? At the end of the day, a lot of people don't watch the debates. I know it sucks, but they just don't. I don't even know how important the debates are anymore. I mean, they're important, but when it comes to the primary debates, not everyone's watching them, and I don't know. I would have loved to see Larry Elder in the debate and really show people off, but he should have been able to debate. I will say that. He should have been able to debate. They didn't want him to debate for whatever reason. Oh, she can't. Yeah, Ronna. I would like to see that girl go away. I just think the entire RNC, Ronna McDaniel. I mean, there's a huge problem with a lot of institutions, and it's just like, it's nepotism. It's people that have had these positions for a long time, and they think that they're owed the positions even though they do nothing for the party or the organization that they serve. That's what I think of when I think of Ronna McDaniel. I'm just thinking, like, you're not doing anything for the party that you serve, yet you insist on being in that position of power, and it's really frustrating. That's what I think of when I think of her. Thank you so much for the super chat. You rock, Sarah. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Styrian01. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. Chris Christie's belt is the hardest working thing in the entire campaign. That's probably true. That's probably true. No, but I do think there are people that they get their way into the political class and they just stay there because they've had that position and they feel they're owed that position, and they just stay there, and they keep wanting to get reelected or reappointed or whatever just because they've had it and they think they're owed it. But that's not how our political class is supposed to be. They're supposed to work for the people. You pay their salary. There's a reason why all of their salaries are public. It's because you pay it. and you are owed to know what your tax dollars are paying for. And we as a people have gotten so far away from holding our elected officials accountable that they've and Romney, it says oh, I'm done with that conversation, by the way. I wish my neighbor had the cash to run for president. He'd be one of the best. Wait, who's your neighbor? Should we make a fund? I don't understand. You speak Russian. No. I'll tell you what Eva did. I'm pretty much done. But I will tell you what Eva did earlier. I was... the Bud Light story. So Eva, my cat, I was in the middle of a Zoom meeting and she made a ruckus and opened my door and ran out during the Zoom meeting. Good evening, Randy. Ruined the Zoom meeting. So anyway, it was about to wrap up. It was like the last minute. She just made a ruckus and kind of embarrassed me at the end. So I chased her outside for about 5 minutes. And when I chase her, it's very funny because I think she thinks it's funny. And she'll run a few feet and then she stops and looks at me and smirks. And then she runs a few feet and stops and looks at me and smirks. So I get her and I bring her in. She's a stinker. Anyway, she escaped again. She went on top of... we have a giant Nissan truck, so she went on top of the trunk and then eventually made her way to the passenger seat and just looked at me. Like, that's fabulous. Thank you, Kat. Thank you very much. Thank you. Mitch McConnell, need to go play. Oh, I am sleepy. It's about... I can't even see it. Let's see. It's about 8:30. Yeah, I am sleepy. It's a little bit late. All right. What do you think about Trump Carson ticket? Do you mean Carlson? Like, hello? Do you mean like Tucker Carlson? I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't ever see Tucker Carlson. If that's what you mean, I think I read Carlson. Oh, Ben Carson. Oh, okay, thank you. Oh, Ben Carson. That would be a very cool ticket. Very cool ticket. I'm a huge Ben Carson fan. Have been for a long time. Haven't heard much from him lately, but that would be an amazing ticket. I would vote for that all day, every day, and then like yesterday and tomorrow. I would love that. And are you referring to, so there was this awesome video. If you guys didn't see, you probably, you're not talking about Carson? Are you talking about Tucker Carlson? Trump Lake. Well, there is a cool video of Donald Trump and Ben Carson that came out. Johnny Carson, maybe? No, I thought you were talking about Ben Carson. Okay, so there was a really cool video of Donald Trump and Ben Carson that came out where they forgot to announce his name in a debate, and Trump stood beside him until they announced his name. So I think that's why I assumed that's who you were talking about. Trump Ramaswamy ticket. I don't know. I don't know if I see them together. I'm talking about Dr. Ben Carson. Yeah, that's what I said. Right? I remember that. Yeah, Ben Carson. I would love to see a Donald Trump Ben Carson ticket. I would love that. In a heartbeat, I would vote for that. I'm a huge fan of Ben Carson. But that's who I was talking about. There was a debate that the video started going viral. Yep, I love that ticket. Okay, yeah, that's what I was talking about. But there was a video that started going viral. I don't know if you saw it the past week, but it was a big debate where a lot of people were involved, and Ben Carson, Dr. Ben Carson, was involved in the debate, and they missed announcing his name, or they totally flubbed his intro onto the stage. So he was just standing side of stage, like really awkwardly, and Trump stood beside him until they finally remembered to give him a proper entrance. And it was a cool video. It was very nice. Trump Sansoni. Ben Carson is too honest for politics. Yeah, probably. But that's probably also why I like him. He's very honest. When I heard that debate, it warmed my heart. Trump does have, yeah, no, Trump, there is a really nice side to Trump. And I think some people choose not to see it. Some people do. But I think that's why he gets along so well with regular people, because they recognize that. Ben is very smart, but very low energy. Oh, okay. I just haven't seen Ben in a long time, but I could see him being lower energy. I'm sleepy. I'm sleepy. All right, y'all. What time is it? I think it's my bedtime. I can't even see what time it is. I feel like it's probably past 9, right? I think it's past 9 my time. They would compliment one another greatly. Oh, it's only 8:30. Why am I so tired? I woke up really early today. They would compliment one another. That's really cute. I'm dopey. It's only 8:30? Why do I feel like it's like it's like midnight? Oh, someone said, but Sarah, you must be excited about Asa Hutchinson and the other guy? No. Let's see. The one I would vote for right now. Well, I don't know who I'd vote for right now. I like to stay pretty open, to be honest with you. But someone someone who I think is interesting in the Democratic Party is Colonel West. Do you guys know who he is? I like him. I think he's kind of, I like him. I think he's kind of, no, Colonel West. I believe he's running for president, but I don't know if he's running for a Democrat or independent. Yeah, kind of a loon, but oh, is that what it is? Cornel West. Green Party. Trump will bring the priest to the world. He's old school. I like him. Is it Cornel? Did I call him Colonel West? I'm an idiot. Cornel West is major woke, I thought. Well, he might be a little bit, but what I find really interesting about him is don't say what. What I find really interesting about him is he does speak to the working class, and he says he speaks out against the Democratic Party and talks about a lot about their hypocrisy. So, do I think he's perfect? Absolutely not. But I like the fact that he's calling out certain things, and he does something very similar to what Trump did, and he speaks to the middle class. But he's been known to be radical. Well, yeah, I mean, I feel the same way about Vivek, and even a little bit like JFK Jr. Like, do I see them as being president? No, but I like, maybe not so much JFK Jr., but definitely like Vivek. Like, do I see him as being the president right now? Absolutely not. But I like the fact that he's in the mix, and I like the fact that he's bringing certain things to national conversation. And I think that's what I think about Cornel. Oh, I can't say that. Cornel West? Stop. It's a shame what the Democratic Party has become, I know. I didn't say his name right. Don't laugh at me. I'm going to have to delete this lot. There's too many clips. Vivek, little Trump. Little Trump. Cornell. Cornell, like the university. Okay, thank you, special game. Cornell. I go to Cornell University. Do you go to Cornell University? Cornell University. Cornell West. Cornell. Cornel West was or is a Harvard professor on Black Studies. Oh. Yeah. I mean, I what I like about his conversation is that he does call out the Democratic Party for not helping the middle or lower class. So I think that's very cool. And that does need to be called out. And just like Vivek, I don't agree with everything, but I like the fact that he's bringing certain things to conversation. It would be hard for me to say President Ramaswamy. Oh yeah, he does have common sense, and he's not wrong all the time. Absolutely. Kind of Swami. So kind of Swami. Just being candid. No, it's true. He's not wrong all the time. He's actually right a lot of the time. I was just listening to Vivek today on TMZ, and he was pushing back about the climate change agenda. I really appreciated that, especially on TMZ, because they're so liberal and they're so woke back on the climate change agenda. And I appreciate that. I appreciate that, I guess, because of his past. And maybe I'm just happy scale, because, I mean, he gets a lot of attention. He was on TMZ. I get it. I get what TMZ is. But they have a large, young, pop culture obsessed fan base. Wait, I think I just, hold on. I just got a lot of comments at once. I think I was buffering. I think I slowed down. Carrie late for VP. If I didn't see anything, I am so sorry. I think I just got a lot of stuff all at the same time. But do I trust him all the way? No, not necessarily. You glitch for a second. Darn it. I'm sorry. Do I trust him all the time? No, not necessarily. But I really like the fact that he is talking about what he's talking about. We missed most of the TMZ speech. Well, we got to see it. How long was it? I mean, I didn't see the entire thing, but I watched his whole climate change segment. Sarah, we broke the internet again. That's what it was. We can't handle the truth. I speak so much truth, the internet breaks. What you said about it just now. Yeah, what you said. That's what you say when you don't know what to say. What you said. No, what you said. How are you doing? No, how are you doing? How are you doing? How are you doing? We're fine. I broke the internet. You missed, well, I don't know what I said now. What will you do in California if not doing any acting work? Well, it's funny you say that because I'm not in California right now. I might go back. Like, why am I here if I'm not acting? I love the beach, don't get me wrong. I like to skateboard. I learned how to skateboard there. But I was like, what am I going to do here now that I'm not acting? Because that was just my home for a long time. And it's not that I don't want, and I saw a lot of my acting friends there. And I have a lot of friends that could even give me acting jobs if I wanted that. Or that could, if I wanted to continue that journey, could help me move forward if that's what I wanted. But I don't think I want that right now. And that's what I thought to myself. So it was an interesting time being back because that's an interesting question. Because once I was there, I was like, my boyfriend's there and I love him very much. He's coming to visit me actually very soon, within the next 2 weeks or so. And I saw him when I was there and that was very nice. But oh, why I would live there right now. I parted ways with my agent and that's fine. But I'm like, I do most of what I like to do online and other areas now, so there's just no point. And your acting career will probably take off now that you aren't even looking for it. Well, you know what? And it's not even that I don't want to act anymore. It's just like I don't want to be on the audition game anymore. I don't want to do that. Could be a nice vacation and some vlogs. No, that's honestly how I feel. I have no desire to be on the audition game anymore. I don't want to do that. I don't want to beg people for jobs. I don't know. And then the actor strike thing happened. And when that happened too, that even just furthered I'm like, I'm just glad that's not my thing right now. I don't know how to describe it. It's not that I'm done acting. Maybe I'm just done right now. Yeah, I would like to grow my channel. I've grown other areas. It's so hard because there are so many social medias right now. Begging for a job is it just felt so odd. I hated the voice acting circuit. Sounds incestuous as hell. Well, it's just oversaturated. It's really oversaturated because it's such a cool industry. There's so many people that want to do it. And I was very lucky. I had a really good agent. I read for a lot of really big things. It just, none of it panned out, which is fine. I mean, I had a great time. I loved my agent. I loved my booth directors, and I had a wonderful time. I was a part of this group, Women in Animation, and they would give us like free screenings on all of the big studios, all that stuff. Paramount, just everything. We would have like huge screenings, and they would give us before the anime. It would be like an animated series or an animated film, and we would go and see the pilot or the entire film, and they would give us a great time. wonderful time. But it's a tough industry, and you're like begging people for a job all the time. And even if you're a successful actor or actress, it's still way more rejection than wins, and that's just what it is. So you have to get used to that. Um, so when you kind of start doing your own thing, it's hard to want to like go back to that, I guess. So, but it's not saying that I won't. Did I ever audition for Hallmark? No, I never auditioned for Hallmark. No. Well, Hallmark. I said Sarah's Hallmark. Well, most of what I auditioned for was animation. I did some on-camera auditioning, of course, and actually I worked more in on-camera stuff, but most of my bigger auditions were for animation. It's Hallmark. Would I be in a Christmas movie or Halloween movie? Wait, okay, oh, Hallmark is Christmas. Yeah, but I'll probably perform in that way again. I just don't want to be on that audition circuit. Miss Sarah Sansoni Mysteries. Yeah, I don't want to, I wouldn't want to be in like a Christmas show. I would want to be in a mystery show. Thanksgiving is. No, I want to be in a spooky mystery show. I don't want to be in a Thanksgiving show. True crime is always popular. Yeah, but I'd be the girl that got murdered. Hallmark is still number one, I think. You want to know what's funny? Like all of the actors on Hallmark and all that stuff, like that's not where they want to be. It's where none of them want to be. Thanksgiving murder mystery dinners. That's perfect. Okay, yeah, Thanksgiving murder mystery dinners. It was it was Colonel Mustard in the library with the candlestick. I can see Sarah and Chuck Norris taking on DC. Yeah. I would do I don't know, some kind of jujitsu. Cobra Kai starring Sarah. On a cop show, oh my gosh, I couldn't be a cop. I'd be like, get in the handcuffs. Please. Please just get in the handcuffs. Yes, learn martial arts. Actually, I think that is a next goal of mine. I've learned a lot of things over the years, but I've never learned martial arts. Martial arts, so I would like to learn that. Sarah's the White House press secretary. That feels like the worst job ever. Ever. The one who did it brilliantly was Kayleigh McEnany. She did such a good job, but I don't think I would ever live up to her level. And she had to deal with combating against people with Trump. Jiu-jitsu. All right, y'all. I think I'm going to go now. Thank you very, very much for joining. Yes, I agree. All right. Thank you very much for joining, and I will see you all later. Dana Perino. Oh, yeah, I love Dana Perino. All right. Bye, you all. Thank you very much for joining. All right. I will see you later.